Here we go, guys. We're going to start with Justin from WBC. Big Steve?
Justin, how are you?
Doing good.
Just to break the ice, you know what I mean? I just want to ask you, Justin, being from a small market team, right? And, hearing these teams like the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Yankees spending, having payrolls of maybe $180 million, 160. How do the Twins stay on top, stay competitive in such a low marketplace like that?
Our scouting is pretty good. It's important, they're thorough and they go through and they find, guys that come up and then we develop them. When those other teams you talk about, when they sign our guys, we bring guys up from the minor leagues, and everybody has a chance in our organization to play in the big leagues if they play well, and that's kind of motivation for those guys to do well. They don't feel like they're going to get stuck, and they end up in the big leagues playing for the Twins.
Has Ron Gardner ever got in your face?
No, I wouldn't say that. But, I've had sat me down and talked to me, but he's not a big yeller or anything like that.
Not a big yeller?
No.
Is Michael Kadire, is that good? Is he good protection for you?
Yeah. Cuddy's he's good. 06 he drove in 100 runs, scored 100 runs, and 25 homers. He can do that when he's healthy. So.
As a team like for Canada, what does it mean for playing for Canada? Your town, your city, your country. What does it mean for the World Baseball Championship to be here in Toronto, Canada?
Right. They said we got 43,000 sold for tomorrow against the U.S. So for a baseball game, that's pretty cool in Canada. Be a part of that. We're in Canada, so across the chest. So it's an honor.
I'd like to jump in about his work ethic. Is this true? You missed sprints one time, and I believe you fined yourself. You dropped down 100.
Yeah, that's true.
It's impressive.
I don't know about
that.
That was more. It was the first game of spring training, and we always run. But I stayed in longer than the guys. They came out of the game. They ran, and when they went in, I came out of the game, so I just saw them going in. And then I was sitting in the cold tub in the ice, sitting there, and comes in and says, "What? You don't run anymore?" It's Kadire said it. So he's actually the one who should get credit for that. And then I went in and I just wrote Guardian a note and I said, "Forgot to run. Sorry, I fined myself." And then I left $100 on his desk.
Now, he's not the one that's doing these off-season. I saw it on ESPN the other day. The off-season pretty exercise or routine that he did in Arizona, I believe.
Yeah,
it was?
Arizona.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Who's doing that? Who's doing that these days?
There's a bunch of guys out there doing that. There's Brian Roberts is out there, Euclid, Pedroia, Punto, our shortstop. He's actually here playing for Italy. There's a ton of guys out there. There's probably 30 guys working on that facility, and Arizona's kind of the place to be if you're not either Florida, Arizona, where they kind of have those facility out in the sun. We don't really get much of a summer because we're playing the whole time. So
right.
You get out there and enjoy the sun. And guys can golf and do all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So, who did you watch growing up? Playing baseball in Canada, the Great White North. Who were you watching?
I was a Jays fan growing up.
Okay.
I grew up 2 hours from Seattle, so we'd go down there and the Blue Jays would come in. We'd go there and watch the Blue Jays on TV. Like most of the guys that are playing for Team Canada now, that Blue Jays won the World Series 92, 93, and that kind of made everyone want to play baseball in Canada. And those guys were, John Olerud was one of my favorites, and Larry Walker, of course, and Ken Griffey Jr. Those were my 3 favorite guys. So.
Have you played against Ken? Obviously, is it kind of weird playing against someone you used to watch?
It was really weird, especially the first time was a spring training game. Played him. I was playing first. I came in the 7th inning or whatever. I was young, and he just got over to Cincinnati, and I said, "What are you still doing in this game?" Because usually spring training, you play guys play 4 or 5 innings, and then they get out of there. And they said, "Just having fun, whatever." And he was cool. He was. It was fun just to get up there and meet him, and then actually play against him in the big leagues. So.
Cool. The state of Minnesota has a really illustrious baseball history. Is it? What's it like playing there? I mean, people come to the games regardless. Is it hard putting together a program every year that's competitive, as the Twins do, or?
It is. I mean, the consistency that we've had for the last 7 or 8 years has been. With our payroll, I think it's been something that's pretty impressive. A lot of credit to all our scouts, general manager, and all those guys that go into it. they're the reason that we put a competitive team on the field through, you know, trades and through the draft mostly. And they come out and we have a chance to win every year, and I think the fans like that. And now we got a new stadium coming next year, so you know the fans will be there for pretty good crowds.
What's this thing on your Wikipedia page about not leaving the car until 33 minutes after the hour?
That was back when I played hockey, when my mom used to drop me off at the rink. I used to, our game time was Friday night at, I don't know, whatever it was, 8 o'clock or whatever. And if she got there early, I'd sit in the car until the clock read 33, and then I'd get out and go in the room and whatever, get ready for the game. I don't know, it's been, that's been my number since started in hockey since I can remember.
Have you ever met him, and are you scared of his son?
After that brawl? Yeah.
Yeah, after that, bro.
No, I haven't. I actually have a jersey signed by him, but haven't met him yet. So.
What about the slushes? Who makes the best slush? 7-Eleven? The puppy? Who?
Clubhouse, Nick Punto. Yeah, we actually have a kind of a slurping machine in our clubhouse, which is pretty good. You know, we'll mix a little Mountain Dew in there usually, and that kind of stopped last year. But 06, that was our big thing pre-game. We do that.
The slush.
Yeah. Just started one day. I think I got a couple of hits, and then we just did it every day after that.
I have to ask you two questions. I have to ask you this: with steroids and baseball, you know, steroids put in a black cloud over baseball, and Barry Bonds being the all-time home run leader, and not being able to find a job over the last 2 years, and you know, you guys singled out Jose Canseco. Everybody knows about Jose Canseco's book, and Rafael Palmeiro, and Brady Anderson, and Mark McGuire, and Roger Clemens. The names go on and on. Do you feel that certain players should have their statistics taken out for admitting that they were on steroids for a specific time?
I don't think so, because you can't. There's no way to prove who was on it and who wasn't. I mean, the guys that admitted, yeah, I mean, but there's so many other guys doing it. There's no way to go back in time and prove the guys that were and the guys that weren't. So, I mean, anybody can say that somebody was taking steroids or looked like they were taking steroids, and with no way to prove yourself innocent.
Have you ever
all
seen?
of a sudden, you know.
Have you ever seen anybody in Minnesota's locker room take steroids?
No.
Huh?
No.
How do you feel about David Ortiz being with Minnesota, hitting 22 home runs, and then after that, his home runs just skyrocketed?
He got over there with Matty, started working hard. Matty kind of took him under his wing, and you know, Matty's one of the hardest working guys in all of baseball. And he kind of got on his program and learned from him and what it takes to be a hitter. He was hurt a lot when he was in Minnesota too, you know, so he got over there, and then the confidence started to build, and you know, now he's a big puppy.
Is this the hat that you designed?
It is. It's,
What creativity did you put into that hat that made it the hat that it is right now?
Well, it's all stuff about me growing up.
Right.
You know, so this is New Westminster. They call it the Royal City, I think, because the Queen visited there a long time ago. And then the inside's where most of the stuff is. You know, I wanted to be kind of playing on the outside, and then the inside is my high school, the minor hockey team growing up, the Little League baseball, then New West, we call it NW, is, you know, for short.
Yes.
So it's shorter than New Westminster, and then my parents, my brother, and my wife's initial in there, and then they just put the stats in there.
Always got to take care of the wife and the family.
And then they got the overhead view of the city here. So.
Beautiful.